This is TWiT.
First, the iPhone 8, which I have been calling the bridesmaid iPhone, as in always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Also because they showed it off in rose gold, like a bridesmaid dress that you'll never wear again. You know what I'm talking about, Jason, don't you?
Totally.
I guess that's not really rose gold. It's whatever it is, grayish gold. Anyway, the new iPhone 8 is a bit, I don't know. It's a bit of an also ran, or, you know, that's what I'm thinking anyway. It comes in regular and plus size. It has a Retina HD display, the A11 Bionic chip with 4.3 billion transistors.
Sorry, the Bionic Man sound. I couldn't quite make it again.
Good work. Okay. This phone's customized for AR, of course, the AR kit. It has a glass back and fingerprint Touch ID. You can charge it wirelessly, which was one of the many Apple announcements that got a lot more applause than I personally believe was warranted. Basically, it means it just supports Qi charging, which has been around for quite a while with Android phones, and lets you set your phone down on a pad instead of having to plug it in. Not a huge difference, but I mean, it is wireless. If you think about all those times that you have to find the lightning cable. Lightning cables get stolen from my house so often. So I guess I'm excited about this, but they did not invent it.
No, Apple doesn't necessarily need to invent things. Sometimes they just come out with it after the fact, and the fact that they're supporting it ends up being a big deal, which totally this is the case with wireless charging. Yes, it's existed before, but people who love wireless charging or people go crazy for the idea of wireless charging. It's not something that's really caught my imagination at this point. Like, I don't have a wireless charging pad, and I'm pretty certain once I do cross that line, I'll really understand why people go crazy for this. But at the same time, I do know that I have the corner in my bedroom that has all these little wires that just hang out on the floor waiting for me to plug my devices in there at the end of the night. And it would be kind of nice. Like, they have the AirPower wireless charging mat. No price, no release other than next year. But they demonstrated how you can set your iPhone on top of it, and then put your Apple Watch on top of it also, and then put your AirPods case on it to charge that. And it's just a pad that you set it all on, and it all charges up. And yeah, that's a lot easier than having to plug it in. Is it essential? Probably not. But once you do it, it's really easy to see the value, I think.
That was my least favorite. I was booing inside at that Air. First of all, calling it Air Power, it's just funny. I mean,
Air Power. Also,
they're like, oh, we have this thing that already exists, but you can get ours next year at some point. Everyone's like, yay, next year we can get something that already exists. And the AirPods, which are already expensive, you have to buy an extra case. Like, the regular case isn't going to work. No, a special sold separately case. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
I give a thumbs down to the Air Power kit, but I am spoiled. I have a lovely little stand by my bed that does my Apple Watch and my iPhone, and it has the little lightning cable that just sticks up. So I just go and stick it in, and then I lay my Apple Watch on there, and I don't have to deal with the wires by my bed. So, I mean, that is the one thing too. Like, there are a lot of independent Apple accessory companies that are very cool, and then I worried that that this might be something. But I mean, I think, because what happened with the Apple Watch in the beginning, you couldn't make your own Apple Watch charger. Like, they wouldn't let you do that. Like, it was Apple standards. They wouldn't let you put that little pad in anything. You had to, they had to make these chargers that would MacGyver it. So you'd have to stick the Apple Watch
charger.
Take
the one you already had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what I fear is going to go on with here. But if it's just Qi charging and it's a standard, then anybody can
that
make
it would be a standard, like a Qi charging standard. Yeah, that's kind of feels a little non-Apple for them to do that. But that would be great, because that's choice. And I like choice. And yeah, glass on the front, on the back. Obviously, that's a big design change from what we have right now, and this, to kind of make it set it apart. That's also what enables it to have wireless charging. But the truth is, this will never be the best of this year. Like, all iPhone models that have come out, for the most part, have been the next big thing, and this is the first kind of model that comes out and instantly plays second fiddle to its more popular sibling.
Yeah, I mean, even the iPhone SE came out at a different time.
Yeah,
and
it came out as kind of like, it was specifically tailored to be less than the others. You know what I mean? In any other year, if the thing that we're going to talk about next didn't exist,
that one more thing,
this would be the big upgrade.
Yeah.
Although there wouldn't be a whole lot to this upgrade, but this would be the big upgrade, and it would reign supreme for a year. But that's not happening this
right.
time.
So we're complaining that it didn't get its moment in the spotlight. But we would have complained if they'd given it a whole moment in the spotlight.
We would have been like, not enough.
That is what we do.
Yeah.
Yes. So that one more thing, which Steve Jobs always used to say, and Tim Cook said, he said it again, and they hadn't said it in a while, but he said,
did it feel okay coming from Tim?
It felt okay coming from Tim, and he said he doesn't take this lightly.
Yeah.
They don't apparently take it cheaply either. The iPhone 10, spelled with an X. iPhone 10, spelled with an X.
I see what they did. Roman numerals. I get it.
Yes. And like everybody who says OS X, whenever anyone says OS X, I'm like, oh, that's not OS X.
I'm a flip-flopper. I got to go between both.
It's not like Jif and Jif. It's OS 10. There's not a question. It's OS 10 and it's iPhone 10, and never call it iPhone X as I did earlier. I will be punished. It has a Super Retina display, no bezels, surgical grade steel on the front, and surgical grade steel on the sides, so you could perform surgery with this iPhone 10.
Wow, it's a pretty blunt object.
Try
I don't
it.
know if you want to try that.
I'm totally going to perform surgery when I get this. It has glass on the front and the back. The screen is 5.8 inches on the diagonal, 2.7 million pixels. The camera also includes depth sensing technology and studio quality photo effects. And without a place for the home button or a fingerprint scanner, the iPhone 10 relies on Face ID, which is facial recognition, to unlock your phone, even in the dark. To do that, the camera includes something called a flood illuminator that will magically draw dots all over your face. And if you're worried that it could be tricked with a photo or a creepy wall of lifelike masks, worry no more. The only thing that can trick Face ID is an evil twin, or any kind of twin, which I have, so it's not secure in my home. But by the way, I'm not going to be buying my 12-year-olds this $1,200 iPhone anytime soon. Save your allowance, boys. So yeah, it starts at $999. I don't think we mentioned the iPhone 8. That is 64 gigs, starts at $699 and $799 for the iPhone 8 Plus, and just goes up from there. So yeah, you can pre-order it October 27th, available 11/3, which is interesting because they could have just had you be able to pre-order it on September 15th, like you're pre-ordering everything else. But obviously they're letting the people who have to have it now, give them time to buy the iPhone 8, which isn't that much cheaper, really. I mean, it's $300 if you're talking about something you use every day. And if you talk about most of the carriers pay monthly, like it's hardly any difference between the bridesmaid phone and the bride phone, as I will call them. So yeah, it looks nice. That notch looks to me like the round smartphone. I mean, the round smartwatch, that flat tire on the smartwatch.
You just don't like it, huh?
That notch gives me a little bit of sickness in my stomach.
Would you rather have, because all that stuff up there is necessary in order for the face unlock, Face ID to happen, would you rather the display on the sides of the notch come down so that the notch isn't there? Because that would be the alternative. Yeah. And then you just have a chin up there.
Yeah, a chin.
Or forehead. I guess is what it would be. Would you rather the forehead than the
I don't know.
notch?
I mean, you have to say, do you get used to it or not?
Yeah,
like,
I think
you don't know.
I
think, but Leo says nobody got used to, like lots of people never got used to that flat tire on the Android watch. Did you?
I definitely got to the point to where I didn't notice it. However, when I would see future watches, I would hope that it wouldn't be there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I used the Moto, man, it's been so long, I'm forgetting what it was called, the Moto Wear watch, for quite a while. And, talking like almost a couple of years. And yeah, I got used to the flat tire. I got to the point to where I didn't see it. But I definitely didn't want flat tires on future watches if I could avoid it. But it was there for a very specific technical reason. It had a sensor in there that sensor couldn't be there if the flat tire wasn't there in that particular design. So I think the 3D mapping how it learns over time. It's got a little machine learning happening thanks to the processor on board. It doesn't use straight image recognition. It all relies on what you said, the dots that are projected onto the face, and a whole lot of other things. It also requires your attention, which that was a question that came up. Okay, so could I just unlock your phone by holding your phone up to your face for a second and get right in? If I was a police officer and I wanted to get in your phone, is it that easy? It requires attention, which means you need to be looking at it. I'm sure there are ways to trick someone into looking at their phone and doing that. So there is a point of insecurity there, but curious to see how it works.
Well, I mean, that's not insecurity necessarily, like that a police officer could hold up the phone to you. I wouldn't call that an insecurity.
Well, it's a way to force you to open up your phone without you having any sort of interaction whatsoever.
Right, but like with a police officer or like someone who's trying to steal the stuff off your phone.
Both.
Because like there are rights that police officers follow, like so maybe you have to figure out
rights that police officers should follow. You're right.
Yes. Whereas anybody at any time could take your thumb and put it on there, or anyone who's trying to pressure you could do that, but.
I mean, I think it remains to be seen how easy this will be to get access. If it's literally just as easy as pointing it at someone's face, that seems like a pretty insecure kind of solution potentially. It makes it really easy. Well, yeah, there's that, but eventually you got to open your eyes, right?
No.
Eventually, someday, the rest of your life, eyes closed.
Well, is the rest of your life a police officer holding the phone?
The rest of my life is don't get into my phone because I don't want you in my phone, whoever you are.
Do you have something you're trying to hide from the police, Jason Howell?
No, I'm just saying.
No, I know.
And we talk about insecurity and we talk about access all the time, and this is something to consider. Any amount of security, any secure implementation on your device, if it's not a PIN, you have to ask yourself whether it's worth the convenience. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Ask yourself that question. It's an important question to ask yourself. On a different topic, though, I really like Animoji.
I like the Animoji. I think that is why we're friends, because we both like Animoji so much. So the Animoji used AR. Yeah. And it's sort of like it will be also used in Snapchat to make the Snapchat filters even better, or the face filters even better than they already are. But then you could it looks at your face, and you can be an animated chicken emoji, an animated panda emoji, an animated monkey emoji. And it was pretty amazing. So these are to be used in iMessage. So I can't wait to send them to you, where it's just
totally send them to me.
Message sent with an emoji.
And on my end, on an Android phone, I'll get in parentheses, shaking head back and forth and then nodding up and down unicorn, or something like that.
Sad. I'm sure that Apple will let this be cross-platform with Android, except they never will do that.
No. I mean, how would they do that? Convert it into an animated GIF and send it? I don't know. Maybe.
They'll never do it.
I know. This is one of those things. It's like, this is a perk of being in the iOS world.
I guess that means you're going to get, not a perk of being in the iOS world. This is a perk of being in the, I'm going to spend $1,000 on an iPhone. This is just in the iPhone 10.
Oh, man. You send that to all your friends just to show them, see, I did that. That means I've got the phone.
Right. So it's basically, that's an emoji that's an animated emoji that says, I am rich.
Yes, exactly. All right. There we go.
That is the end until next fall, or until, we get, it remains to be seen what phone. I'm not buying any of these phones. And it's sort of like they've gone beyond the McDonald's menu. McDonald's keeps their menus small so that it's not difficult for people to make choices. But there's a lot of choices now. Yeah. So it remains to be seen what phone Leo thinks that he needs and which phone he thinks I need. And it will be a surprise to all of us.
One of my wife's business partners just upgraded his iPhone like 3 weeks ago. She told me that this morning. I was like, man, I needed to talk to him for a second and tell him, you never do that at this time of year.
I know.
Because his phone is instantly out of date. Actually, it was more than 3 weeks ago because he can't return it. I think it was a month ago.
Oh, yeah.
So it's depressing.
As I've said
before, if you've held out, you're okay.
Well, Marco has been holding on to his iPhone 5C. for, and I thought he would go to his grave with it, but he says he's ready to upgrade. It has 8 gigs of memory on it. You can't download anything.
What?
Yeah. So he doesn't want the big phone. So I think we're going to go for the iPhone SE for him.
Right.
But we'll see.